What's up, everyone? Kaiju no Kami here with
Kralik Kane.
And we're going to be talking about Zenkaiger episode
34.
34.
Yes. Pumpkin carving competition.
Pumpkin carving competition?
That's what it's called.
But there wasn't really any pumpkin carving involved.
There were a lot of pumpkins.
But they weren't carving the pumpkins.
Well, they were smashing a lot of pumpkins. Does that mean there's bullet with butterfly wings? Or are they rats in the cage?
You mean Eva Adore?
No,
or no,
bullet with butterfly wings.
Okay, whatever.
Do you not remember the original albums of Smashing Pumpkins?
At this point, no. I just remember Ava Adore and one of the other songs on that CD that was freaking awesome.
So you only remember their later stuff that was mostly crap?
No, their later stuff that was really good.
Okay, we're going to have a lot of disagreements tonight.
But
apparently we're going to start with our disagreements of Smashing Pumpkins because the best song is Tonight Tonight.
No, their best song is Ava Adore. Especially the music video when it's going through like the scenery all in one like continuous wall scroll.
I'm sorry. Tonight Tonight was the best song because it had hot air balloons. It had this old
it's a good song. It's got in the video's cool, but it doesn't beat Ava Adore.
Yes it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes it does.
But anyway, I think we're getting off topic from what the real thing is, Zenkaiger. Which, why the hell does Zenkaiger have a Halloween episode when Ultraman Trigger did not? What the hell?
Which is the problem? The Halloween episode or the non-Halloween episode?
The non-Halloween episode.
So, this episode basically takes place starting off with like a minor introduction of everybody in their Halloween costumes.
And then it just gets right to the plot. Like, well, what little plot?
But it was kind of cute because all of their costumes were adorable. I think my favorite was for Grandma because she dressed up as Peter Pan.
Does Peter Pan carry around daggers?
Yes. Have you never read the book?
No.
Yes, he has a dagger.
Oh. I don't. And it's been so long since I've seen an adaptation of Peter Pan, I don't remember. But, yeah. We just waste no time to set the episode up or anything. Is nope, just jump right into it. People come in, ransack the store, go out, and they're like, oh, I didn't know Halloween was intense. Well, it's not supposed to be intense, which means there's a world attacking. And Halloween world. How did you know that I was Halloween world? I didn't introduce myself yet. Gee, I think it was pretty obvious.
So, let me just say, I actually really like the design of Halloween world.
Oh, he is probably the best Monster of the Week design since... the one monster in Toku? Some of the monsters in Toku? Yeah. I'd probably say this is my favorite monster of the week.
But Toku was years ago.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Nevertheless, I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed the bum rush in the beginning of everybody, because they were all adults, coming in, getting candy, and destroying the store, because Gaon, which I have to hand it to the suit actor for Gaon, is literally stuck in the ice cream cooler, head stuck in the cooler, and he's like trying to get out. The fact that the suit actor for that could actually not have all of their blood rushing to their head was pretty impressive. But, so obviously then you go to Halloween World, and I liked it because he was like, wait, how do you know who I am? And I'm like, anybody who has ever seen a carved pumpkin would figure it out in 2 seconds flat. So they start fighting, and then obviously Hawkeizer comes in.
Because of course he does.
And then Hawkeizer, they're fighting, and the pumpkin that apparently controls all of his powers, or half of his powers, so to speak, gets knocked off in the battle. Mm-hmm. And it just flies away. Mm-hmm. And basically we then go into whatever the race show is, like the Incredible Race or whatever race reality show there was on, where you had like a group of 4 people racing for like a scavenger hunt to find something.
Okay.
So it reminded me of that, because obviously Hawkeizer is going to look for the pumpkin. The Zenkaigers are going to look for the pumpkin. And Stacy, who is being broody on the roof, complains.
I don't want to work together with someone, but I want to work together with someone.
He then goes to look for the pumpkin.
He just wanted some pumpkin points.
I prefer brownie points, but sure. Then we go with Kaito and the rest of the crew finding Zox and Flint. And let me just say one really weird thing. Whatever the hell they were eating was like this dome of noodles.
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out. Is she eating, is it noodles, or was that just icing on a cake?
I was very confused.
Because if it looked like noodles, but it could have just been icing that was like...
All I know is the craziest thing that she was eating, and I'm like, I almost wanted them to just pan to the food and keep it there, because I wanted to see what the hell she was eating. However, they're trying to convince them. Obviously, they don't know what Halloween is, because wherever they're from, which is a sad place indeed, does not have Halloween. So, basically...
Kaito draws them a picture of...
Kaito tricks them into doing it, because Flint is like, oh, it's like a treasure hunt. And Kaito jumps right onto it. It's like, yes, it is! Draws them a picture. I have seen 3-year-olds draw better pictures of, as Zoc said, a grape? It had like things that you would see for maybe a pumpkin.
I don't know.
I don't know, but apparently...
No, but I love, though, is when even Jiron says, yep, that looks just like it.
Yes, because apparently bad art is recognizable by everybody who enjoys bad art. It's almost like the stick death.
Oh. And then...
But then, I just want to keep on their story for a second. Because they go on this epic journey of capturing every pumpkin and putting it in a cart, to the point when Jiron sees it, he thinks they've just been stealing pumpkins. And Flint's like, no, he's been buying pumpkins. And obviously, I wonder about that, because it looks like Zox was doing a shakedown of the proprietor to get said pumpkins. So I don't know necessarily if it was willingly buying pumpkins, or if it was like, you're going to take this money and you're going to give me my pumpkin. I was a little concerned about how the merchandise purchase went.
And then, in the meantime, we go back to Toji Tendo World. And they're like, wait, so this world is basically defective? Oh, yeah.
And then Ijiru says the most brilliant thing ever. It's completely No,
Barashitara. Because Ijiru was flipped over, because Barashitara, it looked like, was going to go help him up. And he's like, yeah, we don't know what the world's powers are until we actually activate them. And it's like, Well, that pretty much explains why this series has had none of the plots have made any sense, because they just send out a monster and whatever you do, you do.
Basically, it's like playing a giant game of bingo. Or a raffle. You just stick your hand in, pull one out, and there you go. And it actually does make sense for the randomness of the show, because
Of why the monsters are so worthless.
I'm still going back to the fact that this is Seinfeld of Sentai.
But yeah.
Once again, Seinfeld of Sentai.
So they pretty much just answered everyone's questions of how do they just not even care? They just pick a world, send them down, and they do whatever?
So the other thing that kind of happens around this time is Majine, being the fangirl she is of magic, obviously it's in her name, is doing her crystal ball looking for pumpkins.
Yeah, let's not think about Christmas till after the Halloween episode.
But she starts looking in her crystal ball for pumpkins. And every second she's like, pumpkin, pumpkin, there! Looks, there's literally a row of like 50 pumpkins. So
she runs into Jiron.
And then that's how they get to...
Well, no. Jiron's like, you probably shouldn't.
And Jiron, well, I think the best thing is Jiron is just sitting back like the asshole uncle that he is, just watching Majine do this the entire time. Like, this is not effective by any means. And I love Jiron. He's actually one of my favorite characters in the show because he has such a fleshed out personality. And he's like that uncle that...
Yeah, you've said this multiple times.
I know, but he cares about his family, but he will troll the hell out of his family.
And then, yes, then you just hear Majine's crystal ball shatter. And
so we go back now to Zox and family. So Zox and everybody are walking around looking for the Great Pumpkin. I am definitely going to go to Charlie Brown rooms right now.
Charlie Brown?
Charlie Brown rooms. So the Halloween world is kind of sitting by garbage because he's frustrated, because he's worthless. He sees them walking.
Well, he just hears people walking first.
And curls into a ball. Zox's family all just happily walk past, and Halloween World's like, okay, I'm good. Then
he peeks, and then Flint starts to back
up. Like, I almost wanted to hear like the beeping of a semi.
So he goes back to being like in his little corner that, no, you can't see me because I'm not moving. And then when he looks, they're just sitting there in front of him.
They're all sitting, and Flint is like poking at him like, is this Halloween World? Is it? And Zox is like, I don't know. And he references the picture again. And then Halloween World, in its brilliance, runs.
Well, no, Zox starts transforming, doing the dance. So
No. He starts to run, which is what triggers Zox to start doing it.
And then he's like, why is he dancing?
And all you see in the background is Zox and Flint dancing around.
As they're getting farther away.
And he goes around the corner because he's a distance, or so he thinks, and he's like, whew. He goes and looks back. Nobody's there. Then he just continues and he walks past Zox, who is just chilling, and he's like, pirate power to Kaiser. And I'm like, oh my god.
Well, no, I think before that you heard the saying, like whispering it.
But it's so hilarious because To Kaiser is just like so like gloating. Like, haha, I found you. Then we go to the next part of the soap opera.
Both Stacy and Kaiser think they found the
Great Pumpkin.
The head. They go back. They find Them, what you call it? They find everyone is fighting Pumpkin at that point.
Well, no, because before that, Kaito chases after Stacy.
Yeah.
The rest of the crew chases after Kaiser, and they all find him. They start fighting Halloween World, and
who ran up to Kaiser first because he saw that pumpkin, grabbed it, and he's trying to put it on as they're fighting him, and Stacy's like, "Oh, okay, I guess that there's no pumpkin."
And obviously, two Kaisers trying to prevent him because, as he says, the best line of the episode. Do you mean I wasted my entire day?
No, not that. Not yet.
Oh.
Because they're fighting and he's dodging them, and then Two Kaiser pops up right with the gun at the pumpkin.
Oh, yes.
And he's like, what? Pumpkin goes everywhere. Then he goes and goes up to Stacy. This will do. Puts it on. That's when he says, "Oh, so are you telling me I wasted my entire day?" Because they're like, "Wait, you mean any pumpkin could have worked?"
And I felt bad for Stacy because... Not Stacy. Well, I did kind of feel bad for Stacy because he was pouting like hell when he thought his pumpkin was wrong. But it does make me wonder why Halloween World at any point did not say I can use any other pumpkin. Did he just want to have a vacation day? Was he... Because he seemed like all depressed about his ineptitude.
But yeah, and then they call up their powers, blow him up. Zox and Two Kaiser go to fight him, mech form, which...
Wait, no. Zox, Two Kaiser, and Zenkaiger.
Yeah.
Because Zox and Two Kaiser are the same person. I hate to break it to you.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes, Kaito and Zox is what I meant to say.
Uh-huh.
They go to fight the mech version, which had the coolest miniatures ever. I want those miniatures. And then the others are fighting Kaiser as his battery's about to run out. His battery runs out and, oh my god, look, the thing I said, like, whenever Kaiser first showed up. It's his dad! I never saw that coming!
I think everybody knew that. If there was somebody who was legitimately surprised, I do want to live in their world because I would love to be able to have that element of surprise and not see the obvious trope coming a mile away.
Well, maybe if it was their first Toku ever, they wouldn't see it because they wouldn't know the tropes of Toku.
I'm sorry. Even if this was your very first Toku ever, they gave so many Easter eggs and clues to say that that was going to be his dad. And I mean Kaito's dad, not some other Jerry Springer-like element. And I would be amazed.
But yeah, so we didn't see that coming. And then...
Or did we?
It was a sarcastic, we didn't see that coming.
But we did.
And then we have kaijus or whatever blow up the giant mech version. All the miniatures go by, and we have all the ghosts and stuff. I did like when they're being attacked by the world itself. They put on the sheet, and suddenly the entire world's like, "Oh, hey, what's up?"
Kind of remind me of Beetlejuice when Alec Baldwin's character tries to put on the sheet to look like a ghost, and it was the worst ghost costume in the world.
And then afterwards, kids come by and are like, "Yay, trick or treat, yay, we finally get to trick or treat." And they're like, "Yo, should we let Kaito know about this?" "I don't know." "Maybe." "Are we sure?" "Yeah, we're totally sure. Audience called it many episodes ago." And then we go to Stacy plotting.
Is it really plotting if once again we know what's going to happen?
It's probably the only time I will ever use the word plotting in this show. Let me have it.
I don't.
Let me have it.
But anyway,
because they sure as hell forgot about the plot with the Kaito's mother.
I still believe, in my fan theory, that Kaito's mom is on the planet of SD World.
How? SD World's not free.
I don't care. There's a Deus Ex Machina situation going to go on, and it's going to be tied in this nice little bow.
No, it's going to turn out she never left Toji Tendo World at all.
And it's in everybody's dreams?
Nope, she's just hiding in Toji Tendo World.
Well, apparently anyone can. Well, actually, not really. It depends. But if Iago had his way, then maybe so. But I did like the fact that Iago was as genuinely surprised as Bokuwasu about the fact that nobody knows what world's going to come up each week.
What their thing, what their gimmick is until they're actually activated.
Yeah, it's like I like the legitimate surprise that the only person who knew was Izuru, and somehow he forgot to include his boss. I can honestly say if I didn't include my boss with a heads up on any of the shit I did,
my God,
there'd be questions.
Toji Tendo's the Republican Party.
Nevertheless, next episode is going to be about diamonds, which apparently this time are not going to be girls' best friends, but...
And they're not forever. But yeah, it was a fun episode.
It was a good Halloween episode.
It was great to see a Halloween episode. It's been a while for been a long time for Sentai.
Which is funny because it's always fascinating to me watching how other countries celebrate.
Because I think Georgia was the last one to have a Halloween episode.
I think so. Because in Halloween, while it is celebrated worldwide, it's interesting how it's celebrated because candy corporations rule the country here for Halloween. It's my favorite holiday, but candy companies definitely have their...
And the costume companies. The decorations and stuff.
I still believe that the costume companies are owned by the candy companies.
Well, whatever. Point is, Halloween's awesome. And I had a good episode, despite it being a terrible episode at the same time.
But with that said, I do want to thank you for joining us for another week of Couples Therapy. And have a happy Day of the Dead.
Yep. You can check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon at Kaiju no Kami. Website's Creativity by Design LLC.com. Well, the Kaiju no Kami store is opened at creativitybydesignllc.com/shop. Click like, subscribe, the bell notification, whatever else YouTube decides to put on there. Like, you need to click that to support them, and 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 we'll add an extra 5 cents to their ad revenue.
Hey, 5 cents definitely helps. I used to be able to buy 5 pieces of candy for 5 cents.
God, you're old.
With that said, bye.
I didn't say bye yet.
Bye.
I didn't say bye yet. Halloween World was awesome himself. Those miniatures were awesome. I want those for decoration.
I thought we were done.
We're not done till I say we're done. Okay, we're done. Bye.